Hey guys, so we wanted to make this video about van life versus RV life. So we lived in a van for 6 months and traveled North America. That's where we ended up being pregnant with our little one. And we saw so many different things. We went 13,000 miles around the country, well, countries, Canada and the US. And we really loved it. We lived in a 19-foot long Class B camper van.
1984.
1984.
Class
it
B
was
camper
old.
van.
And we just learned a lot from that trip. So now flash forward a couple years, year and a half, and now we are living in an RV in a 27-foot Class C RV, and this thing is massive compared to our Class B. We love this thing. We also have a little one with us this time, so we have a little bit more room, huh? Where's your bed? She says I sleep in the dining room. Peace. We just wanted to talk over the differences between van life and RV life. So I'll start with the most noticeable difference, the space. This Class C has so much more space for everything, for sleeping, for storage, for cooking, for everything. Taking showers, going to the bathroom. Everything is just bigger and a little bit more easily maneuverable. Is that the right word?
On the inside.
On the inside, yeah.
And we also have just a ton more storage. So yes, with extra space, we have a lot more storage. We have a lot more cabinets. We have like a whole extra 2 beds if we had someone coming to visit us. But we use like the top one overhead.
We have 3 beds.
2 extra beds.
3 extra beds.
3. Oh.
This one we're sitting on is a bed. The dinette. And
yeah,
then
well,
up.
this one with the crib, it could
Yeah.
really be a bed. But yeah, there would be 3 extra beds if we didn't have the crib in here. We use one whole bed for storage. There's also storage underneath our bed in the back room. We'll put the RV tour up in the iCard so you can check it out, so you get a visual. You can get the full tour on that video.
Yeah. And then the other part about storage is I didn't really realize it living in a van, but with an RV, you have all the outside storage. We had some outside storage in the van, but it's very, very limited. This has like the entire underneath. You can store like snowboards and camping
all of
gear
our camping gear,
just tons and tons of camping stuff, which makes van life and RV life much more enjoyable because you can take all of your camping gear and I don't know, it's just more enjoyable because you can be outside with all your gear and
like go hiking or backpacking or whatever you want to do. Also, there's more storage for our services. So there's a bigger tank for fresh water, a bigger tank for gray water, which gives us, I would say, at least 1 extra day.
At least,
as a family of 3 than we had living in the van.
Yeah.
And that's with water to spare. We've never actually ran out of water in the RV, which happened to us a few times when we were living in the van.
Yeah, so we went 2 to 3 days of boondocking with no services in the van. In the RV, we could go like 4 to 5.
Also, another big difference about space-wise, again, for you especially, is in the van, there was only one section that you could stand up all the way, which was the kitchen section because it dropped the floor down there. The rest, I could stand up everywhere, but for him, because he's taller, he could only stand up in one spot. Here, it's like we can both stand up and just walk freely, not touching the roof.
Yeah, I totally forgot about that. There was like a 2-foot by 2-foot square in the van that I could stand up.
Yeah.
The other thing is just the bathroom shower situation. So in the van, I definitely could not stand up in the bathroom, and the toilet and the shower was one little unit, whereas this has a separate shower and a separate bathroom, and everything's just a little bit bigger, so you're just a little bit more comfortable.
Yeah, so far I would say yes, the RV is totally more comfortable. We have more storage, more space.
Less stressful because of those things.
Yeah. I would have to say definitely I prefer the RV over the van. But there are definitely some perks in choosing a van over an RV depending on your situation. So for the van, we could pretty much take that thing anywhere. Like any sort of space, any sort of road.
We could literally park on the side of the street and it would be fine.
It would have been fine. The RV is obviously a lot bigger. We have to scout out spots first with the Subaru. it won't fit everywhere. Being flat is definitely more important.
So, however, the perk with having an RV is you can have a tow car or have a car follow you, which is what we do. Kelsey drives the Subaru, I drive the RV, or you can tow it. We just do that because she has to be in a car seat in the car, and it's safer in the car. So it's actually a little bit better, I would say, because we can take the Subaru anywhere. Like, that car can go anywhere. It's 4-wheel drive. We can take it on extreme dirt roads into the backcountry. As long as we have, like, a campground and we just park the RV there, then we can take the Subaru and go wherever.
Yeah, so with the RV, we have to find a bigger space to camp, but then we can take the Subaru wherever we want for trails or exploring or anything. With the van, we can take it to pretty much anywhere to park, but then that was our only vehicle besides we had a little scooter on back.
Yeah.
But we had to leave every time to go places we
Yeah.
wanted to go someplace.
And, like, set up the van to drive and pack up your camp. And so I would just say, yes, the van was way easier to drive, but now we have 2 cars, so it's actually almost easier in that sense.
Yeah. And the gas is actually fairly comparable.
Yeah, so let's talk about, like, finances and the comparison of van versus RV. So the van actually got worse gas mileage than this RV because it was so old.
It was a really, really powerful motor.
Yeah, so but I think the gas is evening out for us because we have 2 cars now.
Yeah.
So I think that is actually almost exactly the same. I would say the age of our van and all the breakdowns costed a lot.
It did. We spent a lot on repairs while we were living in the van. It turned out to be, because it was the same problem every time. It was a fuel pump. So if it could have been fixed properly the first time around, it would have saved us a lot of money.
Yeah.
And it wouldn't have been that big of a deal. But it kept happening, so we had to keep repairing it. And that definitely added up.
Yeah, so those repairs were more. I would say with an RV, it might be hard. Like, if you broke down an RV, it would be harder to find someone to work on it, maybe.
Yeah, because of the size of it.
Because
You'd have to probably go to a special, like, RV repair place.
shop. But with the van, since it was so old, no one wanted to work on it anyway, remember? Like, none of the mechanics wanted to take it in or even touch it because it was so old. So remember that when you are, like, seeing which van to get and which RV, if you're deciding between RV and van life. The older the van and RV, the harder it's going to be for someone to work on it. But the cheaper it'll be. So.
Yeah. More perks for the RV are we have air conditioning.
Oh, yeah.
Some people have air conditioning on their van, and that's awesome. We didn't, and that was kind of an issue. We did sort of kind of have heat. It didn't really work that well.
I don't remember the heat. Oh, the furnace.
The furnace.
Yeah, it was like, it was iffy.
It was iffy, but we had it, and we didn't really need it because we were traveling mostly in the summer, so it was really hot.
Yeah.
But we did have it. This RV has really, really nice heat. It actually has 2 heat systems. One is gas, and one is electric.
No, they're both gas.
They're both gas?
They're both gas. One is just central air, so there's a thermostat, and it uses a furnace in the flame to heat. But the other one is just like, it's not on a thermostat. It's just a gas heater, like a safety gas heater. And it's just in the side of the thing. So
that's been really, really nice because
Yeah.
it's been getting colder at night.
yeah. Another difference is with vans and RVs. Well, this doesn't apply to all vans. We're just using our van and this RV to compare.
Experience.
Our last van didn't have a generator. We had like an external generator.
Yes.
And
so we had one, but it was like hooked up, and we had to unhook it
Right.
and then chain it to a tree because we didn't want someone to steal it and then plug it in.
Yeah.
It was kind of a hassle.
So, but this one, it's all built in. You literally just push a button and the generator's on.
That is really, really nice.
Yeah, so I would say if you're like comparing if I should get an external generator or an internal, definitely get an internal one. It's way worth it.
We also just recently added solar panels to the RV. So we have the solar inverter battery system, which is amazing.
From the Energy
you should
Kodiak
check 'em out.
generator. I'll have linked down in the description. But we have that. The van did have solar, but it didn't have the solar inverter.
It wasn't set up right.
Yeah.
It didn't quite work.
Yeah. So now we have a really nice solar system on the RV.
And it was just one tiny panel.
Yeah.
On top.
Yeah. Some other differences, I don't know. I mean, I would just say the size is obviously the biggest one. And storage, we have tons of storage.
In the van, we had to set up and make our bed every day.
Oh, yeah.
Because it was a couch
that was a hassle.
Switched into a bed. So that was another thing. The kitchen was a lot smaller.
Food storage was harder. We didn't have a pantry or cupboards or anything. We literally just had like a tiny half fridge and then a shelf.
One cupboard above.
One cupboard and then a shelf.
Sink. We had a tiny sink, so doing dishes was harder.
Yeah.
If you can't tell, we prefer living in an RV.
Yeah, the RV is definitely, but not too big of an RV. I think the perfect size would be like a 23-foot, but with slide outs.
Yeah.
Like a smaller RV than this, but with slide outs, because now they make them with slide outs, and that totally changes like everything. It doubles your size. You just slide out.
They even make vans.
With slide outs. They're super expensive.
They are very expensive. Class Bs with slide outs are very expensive.
Yeah.
I would just say living in the RV has been way more comfortable for us in a lot of different ways. Not just space and storage, but just it's ran great. We haven't had any breakdowns. We've had there's a bunch of different perks. We have an awning for shade. We have extra fans, extra.
A lot of this stuff you can get with the van. It's just it costs more and. I don't know. It's just, especially with the little one, I'm just surprised that this RV trip is so much less stressful because we have a kid and it's less stressful than the van trip.
Yeah, definitely.
So I would have thought it would be the other way around. But those are our differences that we can see between an RV and a van. If you have any questions or if you're debating on should I get an RV or a van, leave them down in the comments below and we'll check this video and try to comment back and help you guys out. But I definitely prefer RV life. For
our specific situation. If you're like a single person and you want to your main goal is to like get out as far as you can in nature and like go hiking and all of that kind of stuff, then probably I would say a van is the right choice.
Maybe, but an RV has bigger tanks if you want to go out and boondock. I honestly like the bigger tanks because then I don't have to like empty the black water all the time, keep filling up. So it's like an RV's kind of perfect for a small RV. Would be like the perfect option, I think. Yeah. But
so that's our experience.
Yeah. Let us know if you have any other questions. Like I said, thumbs up if you liked today's video. Hit that subscribe button for more videos, and we'll see you next time.
Beware if you dark.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.